All right. Welcome, optimists. Welcome back to the channel. Today is Wednesday, January 11th, 2023, and it is time to check in on the charts and see what's going on with the market today. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in to all of the drama of the charts. Let's do it. Okay, add, and let's go with this one. I like this one better. Alrighty, here we are. Okay, so market's been reaching new highs. Like really, it just is continuing to rip. It's kind of defying much logic, given a lot of the financial reports that have come through these days. Are there any financial reports today? I really have not been keeping up with the economic calendar this week. I got back into the gym routine and stuff like that, and so it kind of been getting up at like 3:30 something in the morning. Let's see, Wednesday. Okay, so we have nothing scheduled today. But Thursday, tomorrow, we have a ton of stuff scheduled. We have core CPI data coming in, the CPI year-over-year data coming in tomorrow, as well as jobless claims and several speeches coming in tomorrow. So expect some rockiness tomorrow and some volatility on the day tomorrow. What's going on, Tiny? Good to see you. Good morning. As far as today goes, we've kind of been ripping up. I was checking on the charts a little bit while I was at the gym, and basically we were about like right here or so. This was the time frame that I was there, roughly, and I could see that we're kind of having a little bit more of a bullish day. Just in seeing that we're coming up, we're hitting resistance at the top of the upper band of the volume-weighted average price, and then falling back down to about the VWAP, and then popping off of there over and over again. So all of these have kind of pushed up a little bit through the upper band, and then come back down. So the upper band is definitely a nice area to be shorting, or taking longs off of the 200 moving average, or off of the VWAP here. So we did get this double top up here, as you can see, hit resistance right here at like 39.65. So this could actually be turning towards the downside now for the day, just with this sort of like this ABCD pattern that ended up failing. And we are here currently at the VWAP. So I guess what I would be looking for is, are we going to find support off that VWAP? We did find it here with the 200 moving average working its way upward. You can see that TTM is red, and what factors that we're moving at here? We went from 1.1 to 1.8 to 2.6 to 3.1 to 3.5. So you can kind of see some leveling off happening with the TTM. So we may get a red to yellow switch here pretty shortly. What's the volume looking like? Volume's pretty good, but like 4,000, 5,000 contracts per minute. 3.5 to 3.9. So I may look for an entry off of like 56, maybe. Maybe we'll throw like 56 and a half, just so I'm not like going too low on it, and then ending up not getting filled. It could just pop right here, but I'm gonna wait and see if I can get that better entry. Again, like I said, guys, earlier this week and just throughout last week, that I'm trying to work on my entry points, and it's kind of a challenge, because often I see a trade about to happen, I just want to join the bid and jump in, and that's not always the best strategy to be doing that. So trying to be disciplined and choose my entry points. Although this does not look like it's going to drop below 57. So I'll see if I can get in at like 57 and a half. Nah, just going to join the bid and take the trade off here. Getting that red to yellow switch. So I was able to like assess that this was happening by measuring the TTM, seeing that the TTM was beginning to kind of level off. We went from that 3.1 to 3.5, but you saw prior to that it was like 2.6, 1.8. So it was like zero point 0.8. Then we're going up now by zero point 0.4. Then from that 3.5, we went to 3.8. So now it's 0.3. So you can see how that leveling off, sort of that gradualness is beginning to happen. And so that helps us anticipate a red yellow move before it takes place. So that's where we're at. Yeah, thank you to the new subscriber. Appreciate it. Welcome. So happy to have you guys here. I really am. This community is just growing just a little bit at a time, every each and every day. And I love and appreciate each and every one of you. Love to have more and more engagement in the chat every day too. We did get a rip down there that just popped right, like filled right back up. Um, So as far as this yellow move here, went from 3.6 to 3.6. So that's not looking good for our trade. Uh, in fact, that actually is the opposite of what we want to see. We actually wanted to see the TTM continue to fill back up, but this yellow to red is not not what we want to see. So 3.6 to 3.6, and then now dropping down into 4. So I probably need to cut this trade. This is our first attempt at a trade on the day. Definitely pulling back towards VWAP now. I'm gonna cut this and then try for another one. So I'll cut it right there. Loss of 350, sorry, on the day so far. Not worried about it though, because I do think there's gonna be more opportunity on the day than this. I'm gonna actually put this at 8. And then I'm gonna try and get in off 57. Maybe I should have just held it. Yeah, I definitely should have just held it. Literally took a market order on that. Just I was trying to get in like for a while. I absolutely should have held through this pullback. The yellow to red kind of scared me out of the position, and that was because sometimes you can get these yellow to reds, and then you'll get this like big drop that will just completely reject the entire move. So I ended up taking a market order just because I could see that this was stacking. Um, but then we hit resistance at the 26. We do have a possible crossover though, so it may not end up being the worst trade in the world, but it certainly was not my best. But here we are at the very beginning of our day. So 9 is still below 12, and we're getting again heavy pullback. 3.5, 3.6 to 3.2 to 2.8. So I do have some confidence in this trade that this is going to continue to pop back up. Let me find, I may go for a larger trade. My entry is at 59.5, which is really like the top of this candle. So that was really just bad on my part. I couldn't get a fill though. Just over and over, I just like kept joining the bid, moving my uh my order up, and it just wasn't taking the fill. So this is up at 65. Trying to get at 61.5 currently. This has resistance here at 62, but this could run all the way back up to 65. What would that look like for us? We'll put this at 63. Then I'm gonna check in on the 3-minute chart. The 3-minute chart is also getting a red to yellow. So zero point 0.9 to zero point 0.9 to 0.6 or 0.8 to 0.7 ish. Um, I think that this may run near the top of the hour, which is in about 13 minutes. I think it'll begin to run before that, but um, we'll look for new info here at 48, which is now. Um, zero point 0.9 to 0.6 to 0.4 on the TTM3. Possible crossover on the TTM3. That would be nice. Finally getting some pop up on this. Gonna measure on the 5-minute chart now. Did we already listen to this song? I need to find more tracks. I think I'm getting bored of my music. It's kind of a long process to find tracks, honestly. Especially with Epidemic Sound. Like, there's not like a real easy way to just explore music. Epidemic's dope, but like there's definitely a lot of good music on there and great artists. But we really like to see just like a explore genre or explore option in some capacity where I'm not having to be the one that's searching out the new music, but rather it's just finding me similar tracks. I would really like that. I think that'd be really cool. Getting a pullback off of this. Looks like this breakout might fail. I say breakout because we are nearing a cyan switch on the TTM. The 9 is above the 12, but unless this 12 gets above this 26 right here, this 26 simple, this breakout will likely fail and push back down towards VWAP. Hopefully that's not the case. I hope that we push back up, but it's not looking good at the moment. Oh man. So bad at that. I need to get the chat on like a separate monitor. That way I don't have to like constantly like get rid of the charts and view the chat. Because that's really why it ends up going away to begin with. Is just for that one reason. Probably gonna cut this trade. My accuracy has been kind of off this week. But I'm gonna get out of this trade. Down 1150 on the day. Looks like we got some work to do. My accuracy's been pretty kind of like poor this week. Normally I'm running at about like 85 to 90% accuracy, but this week I feel like I'm in the 70s or something. I've kind of an ABCD pattern somewhat forming off of here, off of this 200 moving average. Probably going to switch to scalping, which I've had to do a lot this week, which has been very, very annoying. I prefer momentum trading if the market allows it. Getting a lot of like upwick candles. I think I might switch to shorting. Right when I say that, this big drop. Shorting at 55. Look for a move down towards 50. There we go. I think I just need to be on short bias for a while today. It just looked like the failures of the breakouts there, like it just didn't seem like it was gonna break out. It looked like it was gonna drop below the 200 moving average, and so it was just kind of like, well, what do you do with that? You know, you just gotta go short on it. In at 53 and a quarter on short side. I don't know that I want to go for 12 ticks though. I think that's a little aggressive. I'm gonna go for try to look for a move down to 51.50, which is about the bottom of this wick here. And then I want to hit 51 and a quarter. So it's like one tick above that. We're gonna wait for this next candle. This one's opening higher than I want it to, and the fact that it's opening green doesn't look great. I would like it to open red, but I was worried that we may push back up towards VWAP. Doesn't look like that's necessarily the case. We're in at 53 and a quarter, and we're right at 53. Taking that profit there. Okay, so now we're down 700 on the day. Brought back 1100 from 1150. So we made 450 back. Yeah, I hope so too, Tiny, that your setup shows up for you. Let's switch over to 4 ticks and look for a short here. Quick short there. Made a few hundred back on that. $200 back on that. So down 500 on the day. I think that we can come back from this. We've taken 6 trades total. I think that we have the opportunity available to us to come back from what was down like $1,500 or so. No, 1,150 was our peak low of the day, if you will. Peak low, I don't know. 0.9 to 1.8 on the TTM 1 minute side. Take a short here off of 51. And I might just try to take like 2 ticks on this. Made 50 on that one. I basically got it because I wanted to actually check some other time frames on the charts. So if I go to the 3-minute chart here, I can actually see that the we have room down to 47. So I'm going short off of 50, and I'm looking for a move down to probably 48, maybe 48 and a half. So looking for basically a test of this 200 simple moving average. We do have TTM stacking to the downside from 2.1 to 3.1 to 4.5 on the current 3-minute candle. Right now we're about flat, right off 50. I'm looking for 50 to fail and just a push down towards this 200 simple moving average. I hope we don't necessarily get much pops in the before then, but we'll wait and see what happens. The 5-minute side of things, we're also failing on the TTM. We switched from blue to red, and honestly, this should have been an indicator of me for the trades that we took earlier that went red on us. Is just how close, because I was entering these while this was dark blue, but it was basically turning red. We're going from 1.2 to 2.7 on the TTM5, and on the 5-minute chart we have room down to about 46. That doesn't include the lower band of the volume weighted average price. Finding resistance at 50, or support, I should say. But you can see we do have a bit of a bear flag here. Now, you guys know my philosophy on flags. It just indicates a larger movement inbound. But it does look like it's more leaning towards the bearish side. We have 2.6 to 3.2 to now 3.8 on the TTM 1-minute chart. Finding more support down here that I want to see. I don't know if it'll last or not, but obviously I want our trade to work out. But it is finding a lot more support at 50 than I want it to. 3.8 to 4.2. Yeah, I'm going to cut this. I'm out. So we basically... Oh, then it fills me late. So now we're negative 800 on the day. It basically filled me kind of late on that one. I hope I didn't just take myself out of a position that I otherwise should have stayed in. But we may also see movement back up to the VWAP here, which is this purple line. But let's see, we got 3.2 to 3.8 to 4.3, so 0.6, now 0.5-ish. It's on our current candle, though. Right here at 8 o'clock. Finding a lot of support off of 50. We may get a little turnaround here and then a pop back up. We'll wait and see. 4.2 now to 4.6. Movement of 0.4. So 3.2 to 3.8 is 0.6. To 4.2 it's 0.4. To 4.4, so it's only 0.2. So I'm actually going to join the bid right here. In at 51.5 for a move up 52. 52.5. .2 to 4.4 on TTM, kind of some flattening there. See what happens. We got a doji here at the bottom as well. .2 to 4.3 to 4.4. We'll be restarting the evaluation next Monday. And we'll be doing the 50 and the 100K simultaneously. We're just looking for a push up to 52.5. We did get that, so we made back 200. And we're getting another pop off of that. So I may look for an entry off of the 9 moving average. It's right around 52.25. Entered 52.25, movement of 4.2 to 4.3. Now back to 4.2 on the TTM to 4.1 with a possible crossover of the 1226 inbound. If you remember earlier, I said if the 1226 doesn't happen, then this breakout will likely fail, which it did. So it never got the crossover of the 1226, so it failed. But this looks a little bit more promising just because we found some support across 50 on 39.50. And then now we're getting two from a red yellow to another yellow in a row. So we've got 2 yellows in a row. It's on small momentum though, so that's important to keep in mind. We're going from 4.3 to 4.2 to 4.1. So that's like as small a momentum basically as it gets. It's almost flat. But if we could pick up in like 0.3, 0.4 points or something like that on the TTM1, then we'd have a lot more momentum to come up and test this volume weighted average price, which is right up here around 55. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 5th green candle in a row. And we're going from 4.2 to 1 to 3.8. So picking up some steam there. May look for an entry off of 53. Didn't get it. I'm out. More sellers coming in. You can see on the bulls bears. So we may get a red candle here. How much time we got? 20 seconds left on this. And this peaked up at 54. $4.1 to 4.0. It's red to yellow, by the way. This is such an incredibly solid move. When you get these red to yellows, going long is one of my favorite strategies to use, and it's one of the most accurate that I've used before. I actually would love to create a trading bot, like a paper trading bot that goes long for like anywhere from like 4 to 6 ticks or something like that when red turns to yellow, and just see what the end result would be, and just see if it can run like 24 hours a day or 23 hours a day, the market hours. By the way, y'all chilling, y'all hanging out. Make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. Really does help the community grow. And our community is growing just a little bit each and every day, and I love and appreciate each and every one of you guys for it. Movement of 4.1 to 3.8 down to 3.5. Stacking up a little bit of that momentum, and new candle on the way. Here we go, 3.5 to 3.2. So we're stacking at about 0.3 each time. I'm going to join the bid here. Come on, give me the fill. Not filling me. Ended up getting filled way higher than I wanted to. I tried to get in at 53 and it just wouldn't fill me. So made $100 on that trade. If we got filled at 53 like we tried to get filled at, then that would have been more like a $200 or a $250 trade. So our next resistance point is going to be this 50, the volume weighted average price. And we're going to need to see this 9 now get above this 12, and this 12 get above this 26. So we're going to need to see multiple things happening in order to get this actual breakout here. So we're getting the stack on the TTM. That's one area that's looking really solid from 3.0 to 2.2. zoom out just a little bit. This is looking more solid than not. We'll look for like 6 ticks. And I may look for an entry off of 54. .5 to 3.0 to 2.2 on TTM. Cutting that, and then I'm gonna look to get in here at 54.5. Now there's the pullback to 54. So we're looking for the anticipation of the 1226 crossover. We've got 3.0 to 2.2 to 1.5. TTM is moving very nicely, and that's what we want to see for upward momentum. I don't like that this 50 is crossing below the 200 moving average there. That gives us more of a bearish indicator, and a pretty strong one at that. I need to see this 12 cross above this 26. If that doesn't happen, we got to cut this trade, and we got to cut it fast. Now TTM at 2.2 to 1.6 to 0.9. So we're still moving at like 0.5 up to like 0.8 per candle. And that still looks good for stacking that upward move. But I certainly should have taken an entry off of 54, not off 54.5. Just needed a little bit more patience. I guess I probably had FOMO that this was just going to run up past the VWAP and just run without me. And so clearly that's okay. I need to work on FOMO, and I need to work on entry points, and I need to work on entry points in the relation that it has to FOMO. How can I detach that from my brain? So that's definitely something that I need to assess. 1.6 to 1.0 on the TTM1, new candle. 9 back above 12. We're actually getting above 12 for the first time. So because it's the first time above 12, we need to see this move into the next minute in order for this to play out. And we won't really know until then. Zooming out just a little bit. Get a little bit easier to assess this trade. I want this down part. There we go. Okay. Got some buyers coming in. You can see the upwick on that candle. That's good. That gives us much more potential to break through VWAP and to actually get this crossover. 1.0 to 0.2. There's our trade. Okay, we're back to flat on the day. Heck of a lot of work. 48 contracts, so that's 12 trades. 12 trades just to be a 0, which after the fees puts us in negative. But, you know, such is life, such is trading. So in between VWAP and not 9 above 12, coming in heavy. Gonna put this at 12 ticks now. And I'm going to look for an entry, like a pullback entry here. Oh, that's actually looking nice. That was a little bit higher than I wanted. I tried to get in right there at like 54.5. Should have probably used the price letter on that. But we did get in at 55.5. I got in 1 tick above my ideal entry. So not too upset about it. I do want to see this now move up towards... we're looking for a move up towards 58, but we are seeing resistance at the 200 SMA, and we did get that 50 crossover. I don't think that 50 crossover is going to last. I think this is going to continue to push up. We are going from 0.6 to 1.6 on the TTM. It's really solid momentum. When you're seeing that movement going from like 1 point at a time on futures contracts, that's a lot of momentum and a lot of movement towards one particular side. You can see upwicks now, so we're getting some selling pressure. Probably should have taken that off with that little bit of profit, which I might do. See if it gives me another opportunity. Sound like Porky over here. Oblique. 10 seconds left in this candle when we're hitting a doji on the 50. I made $100 on that one. This is probably gonna pop, but it's looking more solid now. I took that trade off because of this downward pressure. It was a little bit heavier than I wanted to see. Got an entry at 56, pretty nice entry. I'm looking for a move up towards 60. Our exit is at 59. A lot of resistance there on that 200 simple, which is to be expected. I'm going to check this on the 3-minute chart and see what the situation is. 3-minute chart has a possible crossover, the 1226 inbound, and we are getting a nice yellow momentum candle from 5.5 to 4.9 to 4.4. So moving at about a half a point on the 3-minute side. That's looking more strong. We have a ways to go before this 1226 crossover on the 5-minute side. We need to see a red to yellow. We're still stacking red, so 3.6 to 4.2 to now 4.2. So this is going kind of flat. So let's look for 8:15, which is just about 40 seconds away. So in about 40 seconds, we should have this full move starting, and maybe even a little bit prior. You can see it actually happening now prior to the 8:15 mark. I'm going to take this profit, even though I think it's going to continue to pop up. Up $500 on the day. Took quite a lot of effort to get there, and had to work our way out of pretty heavy hole. That's okay. You know, sometimes it just takes a little bit to get your momentum for the day. We are continuing to rip up. There's 59. That was our original intended exit point. I want to see a pullback now, but I don't know if we're going to get one. Going from 3.9 to 3.1 on the 5-minute chart, that's looking really solid. This is looking great for a potential move up to 65. I say that because we've got the resistance here at 65. So let's find a potential entry point. Don't know if we're going to see many great opportunities here, though. Love to get like a red candle that maybe would pull back to like 57. But I don't know if that's going to happen. We got 2.0 to 2.9 to now 3.7 on the TTM. It's looking super, super solid. So far, we pumped up $10 off that 50 marker. Just gonna jump in, check with y'all in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate that very much, Shiny. If y'all are chilling, y'all hanging out, make sure you like and subscribe and ring that bell for notifications. This is the place where if you want some sound trading practices, see some crazy moves, this is the place. You see some pullback now. A lot of sellers coming in. We're right in between. We're like 50-50 on the Bulls Bears. I was really hoping for a red candle, but you know, I just don't see one coming very soon. Although this does have pretty large upwick on it. This may sell down into a doji or possibly into a small red. There's 13 seconds left in this candle with this really large upwick. There's the bears stepping in. You can see the profit takers on the Bulls Bears right there. We ended on a doji. Fascinating. So we got a doji at the top. May see a little bit of a pullback on this one. It's kind of a risky trade that I'm taking here, but just took a little micro short. Made 50 bucks on it. $3.8 to 4.4 to now 4.7, moving to 0.3. You can see a little bit of slowdown on the TTM. That's to be expected, and actually I prefer it. I'd prefer this to actually pull back to like the 9 EMA. Excuse me. The 50 is actually crossing back above the 200 moving average, and that's what I was saying earlier about 10 minutes ago, where I was saying, I don't think that this 5200 crossover is going to last when we started getting this TTM breakout. That's why I love the TTM so freaking much. And if you guys have not watched my TTM video, you guys got to make sure you check that out. It's mainly focused on low float, high volume stocks, but the same concepts to a large degree can apply here. It is a little bit different of a minute change in regards to trading it on a futures contract, but the principles are very similar. I will eventually make an updated video that is focused on the TTM for futures trading specifically, but you can get some of the basic concepts from that video. I have a flag here formed 4.7 to 5.1 to 5.2. Okay, so now we're getting some flattening on the TTM. We're going 5.1 to 5.2, just like what we saw when it was down towards the bottoms here, or was along like 39.50, and we started noticing that it was like 3.2 to 3.8. Okay, seems like kind of heavy, but then it goes to 4.2. So it went from like 0.6 to 0.4 difference, then to 4.3. So now it's only like a 0.1 difference, and that's when we started seeing that turnaround. Same type of thing up here at the top. When you start seeing it sort of gradually like level off, that's when you have a pretty strong idea that a pullback is inbound. And so there's that pullback that we see right there. Our peak of this run so far has been 62. 5.1 to 5.2 to a little bit of a cooling candle here. Gonna try and take a short off of 60, or move down to the 9 EMA would be preferred. The 9 is right there around 59. Super close. We're one tick off on that. Gonna take that profit. Made 150 bucks on that one. So we're up $750 on the day. Pretty great comeback considering we were down 1,150 bucks. So now we're up 750. Obviously, we paid out the nose through fees because we took so many trades. So we're at 64 contracts. So we're at $279 in fees, minus our $750 in profit. So we're up $471 on the day, just about $470.96. By the way, guys, if y'all are chilling, y'all hanging out, make sure you like and subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications. It really does make a major difference to the growth of the community. The more people that like it, the more people that subscribe to it, the more YouTube shows more people, and we start having an even more awesome community. And if you are hanging out, I would love it if you guys just said hi in the chat. Tiny is awesome. I love Tiny. She's here having a conversation, which is just me, and I love and appreciate that. But say what up. Let her know that she's not alone. Yeah, no worries. Totally understand. By the way, guys, if you guys are trying to earn funding in the futures market, make sure you check out Elite Trader Funding. This is the program that I'm using in order to earn funding in the futures market. I've been really, really happy with their customer service, which is something I look for above and beyond everything else. I'm looking for a company that supports and stands by their products, stands by their services, and also puts a lot of effort into getting better and better. These guys just started less than a year ago, around May, and they're kicking butt. They're growing super, super fast. And one of the major reasons why they're growing so quickly is because of their customer service, their high attention to detail in their Discord community, as well as like a wide variety of plans that they offer that are unique, that I've only seen really at Elite Trader Funding. Um, you can find static evaluations at some other places, and you can find one-step evaluations at some other places. But fast tracks, I've not really seen these anywhere. End of the day drawdown, this is the more traditional style that you'll find at most prop firms. But I really like that they have it all in one place. You can have up to 20 different evaluations in one single account. So currently I'm working on 2 evaluations. Right now I'm working on the 50K evaluation on the one step. This allows me 8 contracts in the mini with a profit target of 3,000 with a max drawdown of $2,000. And if you use the link in the description and the promo code, you'll actually lock in a lifetime discount. So these prices that you see here are actually pretty heavily reduced, and you get to keep that discount forever. So that's pretty awesome about it. I'm also working on the 100K static evaluation. This is one of their original plans. This allows me 2 contracts in the mini and 20 micros with a profit target of 2,000. Now, what's different on these ones is the one steps. These have a trailing max drawdown, which means in any given time frame, I can't lose more than whatever the max drawdown is. Which means that that number it fluctuates. With a static drawdown, it's a little bit different. It's a flat, like if you lose more than $625 on this, you're out. You got to start over. And so it's very straightforward. But they just recently released a 150K static evaluation. This I wish this was available when I started, because this is, in my opinion, this is one of the best plans that they have. It allows you 4 contracts in the mini, which is what I normally trade anyway, with a static drawdown of $1,250 and a profit target of 4,000. This, in my opinion, seems to be like one of the easier ones to get at 4 contracts. You can see that's what we've been trading all day today, and that's allowed me to make $750 on today. Out of 4,000, that's pretty doable. So this on the TTM, you can see is kind of leveling off yet again. We're going from 4.7 to 6 to 0.3 to 4.0 flat. So this may look decent for a upward move soon, unless it just drops like heavily. If it does, then I would see it dropping down to the EMA 35, which is at 57, maybe 58. But you can see some bounces off of the 9 EMA. We've got this sort of like double top going up here, right here at 62. 4.6 to 4.3 to 4.1. Took a $100 trade, just taking a 2-tick scalp. Just saw some bouncing opportunities there, so I decided to take advantage of that. So made $100. 4.3 to 3.9. You can definitely see the leveling off on the TTM. I'm going to pull back a little bit on this chart, and then I'm just going to zoom in from the crossover point. So right now, the 26 is still in bullish positioning. It hasn't crossed above the 35 yet, so we're not completely cooling off yet. Switching over to the 3-minute side. 3-minute chart, we're getting a switch over on cyan on TTM 3, 0.1 to 1.5-ish. So this is looking decent. Like, I think this may actually get a pop soon based off the TTM alone. Entry on 39.60 doesn't look bad. quick $100 right there. This may pop back up to like 62 though. I wanted to take time to assess the 5-minute chart before I get involved heavily with a trade. I just want to take a quick scalp because I saw an op there. 3.9 to 3.0 to 1.94. Wow. To 0.9. So on the 5-minute chart, we're actually moving really well. So I may look for an entry. I'm gonna actually go for like 15 ticks, and this is a pretty heavy swing here. So if we can get an entry at 61, which we did, 60 honestly would have been the ideal entry, but this is a bit of a ways away. We're looking for 8:30, which is in about a minute and a half. Our entry is at 61. This is a swing, so I'm intending to take a longer trade with more profit involved in. I'm looking for this cyan switch here on the TTM5, as well as, so we can see right now the 9 is crossed above the 12. Okay, so I'm going to look for this 12 to cross above this 26 on the 5-minute chart, and this potentially gives us the opportunity to run up towards like 65, which I do think is a potential opportunity. It's a pretty heavy resistance zone from earlier today. If our 35, our blue line here, gets above our 26, which won't be for a while, probably not till like 9 o'clock if it happens at all, then we'll have a lot more room to run. But I'm going to pull back now to the 1-minute chart and take a look to see how this is stacking up. So 1-minute chart is going to give us an indication, a stronger indication of figuring out exactly when this will pop, if it will pop. So let's start assessing that. So TTM going 4.1 to 3.8 to 0.6 to 0.2 to 2.8. So that's a movement of 0.4. I don't love that movement downward. Mm-hmm. 26 is also approaching the 35. I don't love that either. I do still think this breakout's going to happen. But we need to break above 62. You can see 62 being resistance here and here. So we're going to need to break above 62, which is where we're currently at right now on the chart. 2.9 to 2.7. Here we are, 8:30. So now we should have a new 5-minute candle. Take a look at that 5. We're almost flat on TTM. We're at 0.8 to 0.07. So we do have this resistance here at 62. We got to break over that. We do have a pretty decent cushion on the day. 3-minute chart. Take a look here. 0.1 to 1.7 to 3.2. So that's looking great on the TTM3. We did break above 62. We hit 63. Now we get a hold. We need a hold above 62. TTM looking like 2.7 to 2.6. Come on. You know you want to go up. Gonna take the profit there. Made $250 on that. Really, like, I guess I gotta wait for 8:35. I think this is gonna pop up. I really do. but I just didn't want to hold through a pullback. I didn't want to go back to red again. We're oddly enough, we're up $1,150 on the day, which our low of the day was 1,150 when we were negative. So we were negative 1,150 pretty much at the beginning. Now we're positive 1,150 on the day. I think this is going to pop up to 65. I really do. I could be wrong. I say wrong because on the 1 minute chart we're declining, but on every other chart we're stacking up. Just gonna check in with y'all's. Been a while since I checked the chat, so. And we love you, Tiny. We absolutely do. Yeah, I also hope it's a fabulous day for you guys as well. I really do. If you guys are hanging out, please like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, but also drop a comment in the chat. Just let us know you're here. I'm breathing today, so it's a good day. Glad I pulled that off. Pulled that trade out. We are getting a drop here. I gotta take a look at the 5 minute chart. I think I went 3. No, I went 5. Okay. So we're still waiting on this breakout. So you can see if I pull these moving averages and make them a little bit more viewable, the 9 is above the 12. Okay, so we did get the 9-12 crossover right there. We need the 12, the cyan line, to get above the 26, which is this white line here. Right now, the 9 is kissing the 26. If this gets above here, we do have a lot more opportunity for an upward move, probably even as it happens. If you notice, the TTM is basically at 0 on the 5 minute chart, and this candle is still a green candle on the 5. I bet my coffee is really cold now. That's very cold coffee. Feels like more bitter because it's cold. .8 to 0.2 on the TTM. Getting a red 5 minute candle. Actually ending on a doji. Doji at the top. Don't love that. Now the 12 is kissing the 26. 9 did cross above the 26, but that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for that 12 to cross above. We are getting a bit of a switch on the TTM, but it basically went from flat to 0.4. It's not a big move. Not a lot of momentum with it. 3 minute looking like 1.7 to 3.1 over to 3.8. Dun, 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 dun. Movement of 0.7 on the 3 minute chart. Pretty heavy pullback up here. I just think there was too much resistance to 62. Frankly, from 3.7 now to 4.0. So we're getting now that leveling off in the TTM on the 3 minute side. So because we're getting that, I'm a little more inclined now to potentially take shorts, and for that move likely down to the 35, which is like 58. Although it may just bounce right here off the 9, but I don't know about that. So we did pull back to the 35 on the 1 minute chart. We actually pulled all the way back to the 50, which is right at 58. It's actually at 58 and 3/4. So I'd say closer to 59. Not a bad day. Up 1,150. After being down 1,150, I'd say that's pretty decent. That's a pretty wide range. It's like $2,300 range. Speaking of bean water, bean water. I don't think I've ever heard that name. Oh, is it like reishi or chaga or lion's mane for the mushrooms in the coffee? Is it like four sigmatic or something like that? Um, I've had like lion's mane in my coffee. Yeah, like I think four sigmatic makes that stuff. Not sponsored. Um, although four sigmatic, if you want to sponsor me, hey, chaga, yeah, for sure. Yeah, chaga's dope, man. Reishi as well. Reishi more for like the calm side of things. If you really want to like yeah, okay, and lion's mane, yeah. I know a lot of the coffees tend to have like kind of a lower amount of lion's mane in there, but if you do lion's mane for like a couple of weeks, like 2 to 3 weeks, you'll start like I've personally, I'm not gonna say you, but I have personally seen a lot of results. So when I was blind and when I had my brain injury was like at its worst, I was taking lion's mane daily in its powder form. I'd like blend it into smoothies and stuff. It was awful. Eventually, I found like some capsules that were much better. But I was taking lion's mane, and I recovered substantially from that brain injury utilizing lion's mane and other nootropics. Lion's mane is funny because it's a natural mushroom that is naturally a nootropic in and of itself, just like chaga and reishi are also the same natural nootropics. Getting a pop here off that EMA 35, which I actually considered taking this trade earlier, back before I was checking the comments. But what happens is you start regrowing neural pathways, and it actually allows you to. One of the things that's really fascinating about the brain, and you won't find this in a lot of American medicine textbooks, if you will. But if you look at like Europe and other countries that are well advanced in medical fields, this stuff is well documented. But the brain can actually continue to regrow pretty much continuously for the lifespan of the human, which is actually really cool, and it was super encouraging when I was totally blind, especially when doctors were telling me that I would likely never see again and likely would never speak normally again as well. And so, I think I speak okay. It's not as well as I used to be able to speak, but I still think that I'm doing okay. And a lot of that is because of lion's mane. I wholeheartedly believe that, because when I stopped using lion's mane, I noticed that there was some degradation. Getting some pops here. Looking for a trade up. I may look for like some really minor scalps. Maybe a pullback to like 60 and a half. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. Okay, we're getting a really nice move off of. I didn't expect this move to be this strong off of the 35. I did expect a bounce off of the 35, but not that strong. So, now I'm gonna look. Now I'm more like 62. All of a sudden, seems cheap. Entered a 62. And now we got the pullback. Yikes. Nine's above 12. Getting a new 1226 crossover here, but entry is 62. I may cut this quick. It's moving kind of funny. Um, and that is because the volume is really low. If you notice, the volume has dropped below 2,000 contracts per minute. So because that volume is low, I'm actually going to try to just get out of this trade. Hopefully with some profit. If not, I'm just gonna cut it right there. I don't think it's gonna pop anymore. Last 50 bucks. It might go up. Yeah, it went up to my entry point, but if you notice, like, the volume is gone. What happened to the volume? Volume's like non-existent. Like we're at like 1,600 contracts a minute. Without that volume, it's going to be really, really challenging to have any sort of movement in the markets. Be like we're trading in October or November again. I'm just reading up on the chat. Yeah, sideways scraper market. You're absolutely correct. I think that tomorrow is going to be heavy volatility with as many reports that are dropping. I mean, like, we've got the CPI data dropping. We've got Fed speakers. Jerome Powell, I think, is probably talking tomorrow. No, we got James Bullard. He's not like the superstar, but he's kind of like, like he's on the team. Like he's on the the professional team. Now we do get the CPI data, the core CPI, the year over year, so, and the jobless claims as well. So I think it'll probably be a rather volatile day tomorrow. I certainly personally I would be flat at every single one of these, because we got 7:30 a.m. This is all in Eastern time. So that means at 4:30 a.m. I'm gonna want to be flat. At 5 a.m. I'm gonna want to be flat because we got James Bullard speaking, and then at 5:30, absolutely I'm gonna want to be flat because all this stuff is dropping at 5:30 right here. So basically, I'm gonna pretty much be flat from like 4:30 all the way through 5:30, and then we'll have a 3-hour gap. So from 5:30 to 8:30. East Pacific time. Sorry. This is likely going to be my peak trading hours, is between here and here. So between the continuing jobless claims and the James Bullard speaking again. I don't know why he's speaking twice. He's speaking at 8 and 11:30. All right. It's just fulfilling them speaking slots. That's that brain injury right there coming out. Speaking slots. I can tell you, man, like, trading with a brain injury was like super challenging at first. It really, really was. So, but everything is just about like overcoming it. Keep making sure that you're keeping that optimistic attitude that things can change. Things can change for me, and that I can continue to grow. Just like keeping that on a loop in my head was really, really, really necessary, especially when you got doctors telling you you'll never see again, you'll never speak again, you'll never like have your motor skills back again. Which, by the way, my motor skills are way pretty good. They're way better than they were when I came out. When I came out of the coma, like, I would reach for a cup or something, and it looked like this. Like have to swim to things with my arms. It was really, really awful. It was just such a challenge to deal with. But what are you gonna do? Get to pop up a little bit. We ended up cutting that trade right here for that $50 loss, and then we just pop right back up. Without the volume, it's really, really challenging to see the the momentum as it happens. You can take like little micro scalps, but I don't know if there's value in it. Could just end up over trading and putting myself in a position like I have in the past, where I'm like, okay, we worked ourselves into a nice profit, and then I mean, you guys saw yesterday, we made $1,800 in the first like 20-30 minutes, and then we ended up spending the rest of the time just grinding that down, only to end at positive 200 on the day, but after fees we were negative. So, I don't want to put myself in that position to continue to do that. Up 1,100 on the day, not a bad day. May just call it a win and go from here. We are getting, let's see, 0.4 to 0.6 to 0.9. Okay, so yes, it's cyan here, but the movement is so micro on the TCM that there's not enough real momentum there to really trade it, in my opinion. So I'll have to reassess and reevaluate, restudy or refresh myself on all of the benefits of lion's mane, because I know there was everything from brain derived nerve growth factor to detrides to I can't even remember all of the names, but essentially this combination of these different things like Bacopa moniere and I hope I pronounced that properly. I just call it Bacopa, but things like Bacopa and lion's mane and even ginkgo biloba, which is kind of a more basic and more common one. All of these things together can uh, can help you create new neural pathways or reconnect old ones that disconnected at some point in time. So it's really really kind of interesting. In fact, guys, I'll actually pull all of my old research because I have notes out the wazoo. I'll pull all that stuff and I'll revisit it because I honestly could use a refresh, and then I'll share that information with you guys if you guys want. Um, but yeah, I'm also getting ready to head out. I'm gonna head out myself, guys. But I am gonna post my results in the Discord community. If you guys are not already part of the Discord community, make sure you join. We do have a couple active members in there. It's a pretty small community. Only about 10% of our subscribers actually join our Discord community. But I would love it if you guys would jump in there and come have a conversation with us. We're always talking about things like optimism, philosophy, trading, of course, as well as entrepreneurship and other things of that capacity. We also share music in there. I'm a big music nerd, always have been. My life operates off of music, basically. So, you know, join up in the group, guys. We'll see you there. And also, if you guys are looking to earn funding in the futures market, check out Elite Trader Funding. Use the link in the description. Use that promo code. Get that lifetime discount. And start earning your funding, man. So guys, with that, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down, and we will see you tomorrow. we'll, we'll see you guys tomorrow, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 market time, and hopefully there's a little bit more volume going on tomorrow. I'm sure there will be with all those news reports dropping. So yeah, guys, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Right now, I'm going to pop over to the Discord community and write up my thoughts on the day as well as our results. So we will see you there. Peace out for now, and we'll see you tomorrow.